Chosen ones, you have exactly 21 minutes. This miracle won't come again. Stop scrolling. Stop doubting. Stop letting the noise of this world drown out the divine whisper calling your name. That restlessness in your chest, that fire flickering in your soul, it's not random. It's heaven's alarm clock, and it's ringing louder than ever before. You didn't stumble onto this message by accident. The creator of the universe orchestrated this moment, pulling you out of the chaos of your day to stand at the edge of a divine breakthrough that will never pass this way again. Picture a radiant scroll unfurling in the heavens, your name etched in golden light, sealed with a promise that's been waiting for this exact second to manifest. Why 21 minutes? Because divine timing isn't a suggestion, it's a deadline. In 21 minutes, a door in the spiritual realm will shift, and the miracle you've been praying for, the destiny you've been chasing, the purpose that's kept you awake at night, it's all hanging in the balance. Will you step forward, or will you let fear lock you out of the abundant life God has prepared? This video unveils a unique truth. The fears you've been battling aren't chains holding you back. They're the very keys to unlocking your greatest spiritual awakening. Every moment of doubt, every tear you've cried in secret, every door that slammed shut in your face wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God has been forging you in the fire of adversity, not to break you, but to make you unbreakable. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're a chosen vessel, hand-picked before the stars were hung, to carry a divine purpose that will ripple through generations. But here's the urgency. This moment, these 21 minutes, are your divine appointment. Miss it, and you might spend years wandering in the wilderness of what if. The Bible declares in Isaiah 55:6, "Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call on him while he is near." That while is now. Your heart knows it. Your spirit feels it. The question is, will you act before the clock runs out? Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine standing before a majestic door, glowing with celestial light, your name carved in shimmering gold. This isn't a door of wood or steel. It's woven from divine opportunity, pulsing with the promise of personal transformation. On the other side lies everything you've prayed for: financial freedom, restored relationships, a prosperous life, and a faith journey so powerful it will shake nations. But there's a catch. This door isn't locked by a key you don't have. It's guarded by the fears you've carried for years. The fear of failure, the fear of not being enough, the fear of stepping into a destiny too big for your hands. Those fears aren't your enemies. They're your invitation. They're the raw materials God is using to build your breakthrough. Every time you've felt afraid, you were standing at the edge of a miracle. Every time you've hesitated, you were brushing against your divine purpose. And right now, with 21 minutes ticking down, heaven is watching to see if you'll finally turn fear into faith. You've been here before, haven't you? Not in this exact moment, but in those quiet nights when you've whispered to God, "Why me? Why does it feel like I'm always waiting?" You've watched others step into their blessings while you've stood in the shadows, wondering if God forgot your name. Let me tell you about Sarah, a single mother from Charlotte, North Carolina. For years, she prayed for a breakthrough. She worked 2 jobs, barely making ends meet, her dreams of starting a small bakery buried under bills and exhaustion. One night, feeling defeated, she stumbled across a message like this one. Her heart raced, but fear whispered, "You're not ready. You don't have the money or the time." Still, something stirred. She wrote down one goal: save $500, 0 cents to buy a second-hand oven. Within a week, a co-worker offered her a side gig that paid exactly that amount. Today, Sarah's bakery serves her community, and she's teaching other single moms to chase their dreams. Her story isn't verified, but it's real to someone out there. It's real to you. Your struggles, like Sarah's, aren't random. They're divine preparation, shaping you for a prosperous life that's closer than you think. The enemy wants you to believe your pain is pointless, that your fears disqualify you. But God says otherwise. In 2 Timothy 1:7, the Bible thunders, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." That fear you're feeling, it's not from God. It's a lie designed to keep you small, to stop you from claiming the abundance waiting behind this door. You're not too old, too broken, or too late. You're exactly where God needs you to be, standing at the threshold of a miracle that won't come again. But here's the truth. Miracles don't chase you. You have to chase them. You have to act. If this message is stirring your soul, consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks below. Your seed doesn't just keep this channel alive. It spreads divine provision to chosen ones still searching for their breakthrough. Whether you give or not, your presence here is no accident. You're part of a remnant, a holy army rising to claim their destiny. But what will you do with these 21 minutes? Let's talk about fear for a moment, because it's the phantom guard standing between you and your destiny. Fear isn't just an emotion, it's a strategy. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you, he just needs to delay you long enough for this door to close. Think about Moses, called to lead a nation out of slavery. When God spoke through the burning bush, Moses didn't say, "I'm ready." He said, "Who am I?" Fear made him forget he'd been raised in Pharaoh's palace, trained for the very moment God called him. Fear made him question his worth, his ability, his calling. Sound familiar? How many times have you said, "I'm not enough"? How many dreams have you buried because fear convinced you they were too big? But here's the divine secret. Fear is proof you're close to your breakthrough. The louder it screams, the closer you are to your spiritual awakening. And fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're a threat to the enemy's plans. Let me share another story. James, a high school teacher from Denver, felt a calling to write a book about faith and resilience. For years he jotted down ideas but never started, paralyzed by fear of rejection. What if no one reads it? What if I'm not a good writer? One evening, after a particularly tough day, he watched a video like this one. His hands shook as he typed his first sentence. Within 6 months, he self-published his book. It wasn't a bestseller, but it reached a student who was struggling with depression, giving her hope to keep going. James's fear didn't disqualify him, it qualified him. His small step of faith became someone else's miracle. Your fears are the same. They're not walls, they're doorways. They're not chains, they're keys. And right now, with 21 minutes on the clock, God is handing you the courage to turn those keys and step into your divine purpose. You might be thinking, but what do I do? How do I step through this door? I'm not here to give you vague promises or endless spiritual platitudes. I'm here to give you practical steps to claim your breakthrough. Here are 3 specific actions you can take right now to position yourself for this miracle. First, write down one goal you've been delaying. It could be starting a business, pursuing a degree, or even forgiving someone. Be specific. For example, this week I will call my sister and rebuild our relationship. Writing it down makes it real. It's your declaration to heaven that you're ready. Second, take one small step toward that goal today. If your goal is to start a business, research a domain name. If it's forgiveness, draft a text. Small steps build momentum, and momentum invites divine provision. Third, pray with intention every morning for the next 7 days. Ask God to guide your steps and silence your fears. These 3 steps, write, act, pray, are your bridge from fear to faith, from waiting to walking in your prosperous life. These steps aren't complicated, but they're powerful. They're rooted in the principle of James 2:17, faith without works is dead. You can't just believe in your destiny, you have to move toward it. Don't overwhelm yourself with 100 tasks, just these 3. Write your goal, take one step, pray with intention. No more, no less. They're your keys to unlocking the door before you. And here's the beauty. These steps aren't just for you. When you move, you create a ripple effect. Your courage inspires your family, your friends, your community. Your breakthrough becomes their hope. Imagine the lives you'll touch when you step through this door, not because you're perfect, but because you're obedient. Not because you're fearless, but because you're faithful. If this message is igniting something in your spirit, let heaven know you're ready. Type, "I am claiming my miracle" in the comments below. Your declaration isn't just words, it's a spiritual contract, sealing your commitment to step into your destiny. When you comment, pray for the person above you. You're not alone in this faith journey. Thousands of chosen ones are standing with you, believing for their own miracles. Together, we're building a community of faith, a remnant ready to claim God's promises. But don't stop there. Like this video and subscribe to stay connected to your spiritual awakening. Join thousands of souls who are refusing to let fear steal their destiny. Your subscription isn't just a click, it's a step toward a life of abundance and purpose. Now, let's go deeper. You might be wondering, why 21 minutes? What's so special about this moment? In the Bible, numbers carry meaning. The number 21 is a symbol of divine completion and spiritual victory. Daniel prayed for 21 days, battling in the spirit realm until his answer came, Daniel 10:13. His persistence broke through heavenly resistance, and your persistence will do the same. These 21 minutes are your Daniel moment. A window of opportunity where heaven is aligned, angels are dispatched, and your breakthrough is closer than it's ever been. But here's the catch. Divine timing requires human action. God opens the door, but you have to walk through it. Noah didn't just pray for salvation, he built the ark. Abraham didn't just hope for a son, he left his homeland. Your miracle is waiting, but it's not passive, it's active, it's now. Let's address the elephant in the room, doubt. Maybe you're thinking, this sounds too good to be true. I've been disappointed before. I hear you. Disappointment is a heavy weight, isn't it? It's the scar left by unanswered prayers, closed doors, and broken dreams. But let me ask you something. What if your disappointment wasn't denial, but redirection? What if every no was God's way of saying, I have something better? In John 16:33, Jesus says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Your trouble, your doubts, your fears, your pain isn't the end of the story. It's the setup for your triumph. God isn't asking you to ignore your scars. He's asking you to see them as battle wounds, proof you've survived for this moment. Your doubt doesn't disqualify you, it deepens you. It makes your faith more resilient, your breakthrough more powerful. Picture this: a battlefield in the spiritual realm. On one side, the enemy's forces, fear, doubt, and delay, stand ready to keep you from your destiny. On the other side, heaven's armies, angels of provision, courage, and victory, are waiting for your signal. Your signal isn't a perfect prayer or a flawless life. It's your decision to act, to take those 3 steps, to claim your miracle. Right now, the enemy is trembling because he knows what's at stake. He knows that when you step through this door, you won't just change your life, you'll change your bloodline. You'll break curses, restore hope, and unleash overflowing blessings that will outlive you. The wealth creation you've prayed for, the relationships you've longed to heal, the personal transformation you've dreamed of, it's all behind this door. But the enemy's only weapon is to keep you doubting, to keep you waiting, to keep you stuck. You're not stuck anymore. You're standing at the edge of possibility with 21 minutes to decide your future. Let me remind you who you are. You're not defined by your past mistakes, your current struggles, or the world's labels. You're defined by Ephesians 1:4. He chose us in Him before the creation of the world. Before you took your first breath, God saw you, chose you, and destined you for greatness. You're not here to survive. You're here to thrive. You're not here to wait. You're here to walk. You're not here to dream. You're here to do. Those 3 steps, write, act, pray, are your battle plan. They're your declaration that fear no longer owns you. They're your key to a life of divine provision and unshakable faith. As we move forward, I want you to hold on to this truth. Your miracle isn't just about you. It's about the people God has called you to serve. Think about Esther, a young woman who could have stayed silent, safe in her palace, but she risked everything to save her people, declaring, "If I perish, I perish." Her courage didn't just save her, it saved a nation. Your courage will do the same. That gold you're writing down, that step you're taking, that prayer you're praying, it's not just for you. It's for the child who needs your strength, the friend who needs your testimony, the stranger who needs your light. You're a chosen one, not for privilege, but for purpose. And your purpose is bigger than your fears, brighter than your doubts, and stronger than your past. You're only halfway through this journey, and there's so much more to uncover. What if the miracle you're chasing is already chasing you? What if the fears you're fighting are the very tools God is using to forge your destiny? Stay with me, chosen one, because the next revelation will shake you to your core and propel you closer to the abundant life you were born to live. Chosen ones, the clock is still ticking. 21 minutes to claim a miracle that won't pass this way again. You're standing at the edge of a divine breakthrough, a moment where heaven's promises meet earth's reality. That stirring in your spirit, that quickening in your heart, it's not just emotion, it's the Holy Spirit whispering, "This is your time." Picture a celestial battlefield where angels of provision and victory stand ready, waiting for your next move. The door before you, glowing with your name in golden light, isn't just an opportunity, it's a portal to your divine purpose, a life of abundance and a faith journey that will echo through eternity. But here's the truth that will shake you. The miracle you're seeking is already seeking you. It's not hiding behind locked doors or impossible odds. It's waiting for you to recognize that the fears you've been fighting are the very keys to your spiritual awakening. Let's dive deeper into this truth. You've been taught that fear is your enemy, something to avoid or overcome. But what if fear is actually your ally, disguised as an obstacle? Think about David, a young shepherd facing Goliath. Do you think his heart wasn't pounding as he stepped onto that battlefield, with a giant mocking him? Yet 1 Samuel 17:45 shows us his secret. David said to the Goliath, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David's fear didn't stop him, it fueled him. It pushed him to lean harder on God's strength, to trust deeper in God's plan. Your fears, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of stepping into a destiny too big, are doing the same. They're not walls keeping you out. They're invitations to trust God's power over your weakness. You might be thinking, but my fears feel overwhelming. How can they be part of God's plan? Let me share a story about Maria, a nurse from Atlanta. For years, she felt called to start a community health program for underserved families, but fear held her back. What if I can't fund it? What if I let people down? One Sunday during a sermon, she felt a surge of courage, like a fire in her bones. She took one small step. She emailed a local nonprofit to pitch her idea. Within days, they offered to partner with her, providing resources she never imagined. Today, Maria's program serves hundreds, and she's training others to do the same. Her fear wasn't a barrier, it was a bridge to her divine purpose. Like Maria, your fears are pointing you to the exact place where God's power will shine brightest. They're the raw materials for your personal transformation, the sparks igniting your prosperous life. This is why I gave you those 3 specific steps earlier. Write down one goal, take one small action toward it, and pray with intention for 7 days. These steps aren't random. They're designed to turn your fear into faith, your hesitation into action. Let's revisit them briefly to anchor you. First, writing your goal makes it tangible, a contract with heaven. Whether it's starting a business, healing a relationship, or pursuing a dream, put it on paper. Second, take one small step today. It could be as simple as researching a course, sending a message, or sketching a plan. That step tells the universe you're serious about your breakthrough. Third, pray intentionally every morning, asking God to guide you and silence fear. These steps are your battle plan, rooted in James 2:17. Faith without works is dead. They're enough to carry you through this door, and no more steps are needed, just commitment to these 3. Now let's address another lie the enemy loves to whisper. You're not ready. How many times have you delayed your dreams because you thought you needed more time, more money, more experience? But God doesn't call the ready. He readies the called. Look at Peter, a fisherman with no formal training, called to lead a movement. When Jesus said, "Follow me," in Matthew 4:19, Peter didn't say, "Let me study first." He dropped his nets and walked. His readiness wasn't in his resume. It was in his response. Your readiness isn't in your qualifications, it's in your willingness to act. Those 3 steps, write, act, pray, are your nets. Drop them, step forward. God's divine provision will meet you on the other side, not because you're perfect, but because you're obedient. You might be wondering, what's on the other side of this door? What does this miracle look like? It's not just about financial freedom, though God's promises include provision, Philippians 4:19. It's not just about healed relationships, though God restores what's broken, Joel 2:25. It's about stepping into the version of you God always saw, the one who walks in authority, lives with purpose, and leaves a legacy of overflowing blessing. Imagine waking up each day knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be, your heart aligned with God's plan, your life a testimony of His faithfulness. That's the prosperous life waiting for you. It's not a life free of challenges, but one where challenges become stepping stones to greater victories. Let me share another story to ground this in reality. Thomas, a carpenter from Seattle, always felt a pull to mentor at-risk youth. Fear of failure kept him silent. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I'm not a good role model? One night, watching a video like this, he felt a spark. He wrote down his goal: volunteer at a local youth center. The next day he called to inquire. Within a month he was mentoring 5 teens, sharing his skills and faith. One of those teens, now in college, credits Thomas for turning his life around. Thomas's small step didn't just change his life, it changed someone else's future. Your steps will do the same. Your miracle isn't just for you, it's for the people God has called you to touch, the lives you'll transform when you dare to walk through this door. If this message is setting your soul on fire, let the world know you're claiming your miracle. Type, "I am unlocking my destiny" in the comments below. Your words are a declaration, a signal to heaven that you're ready to step into your faith journey. When you comment, lift up the person who commented before you. You're part of a global remnant, chosen one standing together to claim God's promises. Your comment isn't just a keystroke, it's a step toward community, toward accountability, toward a life of abundance. Don't stop there. Like this video and subscribe to stay anchored in your spiritual awakening. Thousands are joining this movement, refusing to let fear steal their divine purpose. Your subscription is a commitment to your prosperous life. Let's talk about timing again, because these 21 minutes are more than a countdown, they're a divine window. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, the Bible says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." This is your season, not tomorrow, not next year, now. The number 21 isn't arbitrary. It's a biblical symbol of victory and completion, like Daniel's 21 days of prayer that shifted nations. Your 21 minutes are a sacred moment where heaven's resources are aligned, where angels are dispatched, where your breakthrough is ripe. But divine timing demands human action. God's not going to drag you through this door. He's inviting you to walk through it. Those 3 steps, write, act, pray, are your response to that invitation. They're your yes to God's call, your key to unlocking divine provision. You might be thinking, but what if I've missed my moment before? What if I'm too late? Let me remind you of God's grace. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians 6:2, "Now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation." You're not too late. You're right on time. Every closed door, every missed opportunity, every moment of delay was God redirecting you to this moment. Your past doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. Your scars don't diminish you, they deepen you. Your failures don't define you, they refine you. God's not looking at your resume, He's looking at your heart. And right now, your heart is beating with possibility, with purpose, with the courage to claim your miracle. As we press forward, I want you to hold this image in your mind. A river of divine provision flowing toward you, carrying wealth creation, healed relationships, and unshakable faith. But rivers don't flow backward. You have to step into the current. Those 3 steps are your way in. Write your goal, take one action, pray with intention. They're simple, but they're sacred. They're your bridge from fear to faith, from doubt to destiny. And on the other side, there's a life waiting for you. A life where you're not just surviving, but thriving. A life where your fears become your testimony, your struggles become your strength, and your miracle becomes someone else's hope. Stay with me, chosen one, because the next truth we're about to uncover will shatter every lie holding you back and propel you straight through that door. What if the miracle you're chasing is closer than you think? Hidden in the very fears you've been running from? Chosen ones, the 21-minute countdown is still ticking, and the miracle you've been praying for is closer than you've ever imagined. You're not here by chance. You're standing at the threshold of a divine breakthrough, a moment where heaven's promises collide with your reality. Picture a radiant door, pulsating with celestial light, your name etched in shimmering gold. This door isn't locked, it's waiting for you to step through with courage. That tightness in your chest, that fire in your soul, it's not fear holding you back. It's the Holy Spirit urging you forward, whispering, "This is your divine moment." The fears you've been wrestling with, the doubts that have kept you awake at night, they're not your enemies. They're the very keys to your spiritual awakening, the raw materials God is using to forge your destiny. With every second that passes, you're closer to a prosperous life, a faith journey that will not only transform you, but ripple through generations. Let's peel back another layer of this truth. You've been running from your fears, haven't you? The fear of failure, the fear of not being enough, the fear of stepping into a purpose that feels too big. But what if those fears aren't obstacles? What if they're signposts? What if they're pointing you directly to the place where your miracle is hidden? In Matthew 14:27, when the disciples saw Jesus walking on water, they were terrified, thinking he was a ghost. But Jesus said, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." Their fear wasn't a mistake. It was their invitation to witness a miracle. Peter's fear didn't stop him from stepping out of the boat. It propelled him toward the impossible. Your fears are doing the same. They're not walls keeping you out. They're doorways leading you to your divine purpose. Every time you felt afraid, you were standing on the edge of a breakthrough. And right now, with 21 minutes on the clock, God is calling you to walk through that doorway. Let me share a story to make this real. Rachel, a graphic designer from Miami, always dreamed of launching her own creative studio. But fear of rejection paralyzed her. What if clients don't like my work? What if I can't compete? One evening, scrolling through YouTube, she felt a spark from a message like this one. Her hands trembled as she followed one small step. She posted a portfolio sample online. Within hours, a local business reached out, offering her first contract. Today, Rachel's studio serves clients across the state, and she mentors young artists to chase their dreams. Her fear wasn't a barrier, it was a bridge to her personal transformation. Like Rachel, your fears are pointing you to your miracle. They're not chains, they're catalysts. And those 3 steps I gave you, write down one goal, take one small action, pray with intention for 7 days, are your tools to turn fear into faith, to unlock the door to your abundant life. You might be thinking, but my fears feel too big. My past mistakes are too heavy. Let me remind you of God's truth. In Isaiah 41:10, the Bible declares, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you." Your past doesn't disqualify you, it prepares you. Your mistakes don't define you, they refine you. Think about Paul, once Saul, a man who persecuted Christians. His past was stained with violence, yet God chose him to write half the New Testament. His fears, his regrets, didn't stop him. They fueled his mission. Your fears are the same. They're not proof you're unworthy. They're proof you're chosen. The enemy attacks hardest when you're closest to your breakthrough, because he knows that when you step through this door, you will unleash divine provision, heal relationships, and build a legacy of overflowing blessing. Let's revisit those 3 steps to keep you grounded. First, write down one specific goal you've been delaying. Maybe it's starting a side hustle, reconciling with a loved one, or pursuing a passion. For example, this week I'll research online courses for my career. Second, take one small action today. If your goal is a business, register a domain name. If it's reconciliation, send a text. That step, however small, invites God's favor. Third, pray intentionally every morning for 7 days, asking God to guide you and silence fear. These steps, rooted in James 2:17, faith without works is dead, are your bridge from hesitation to action, from fear to a prosperous life. No additional steps are needed, just faithful commitment to these 3. They're simple, but they're sacred, designed to align you with God's plan and propel you through this door. Now, let's talk about what's on the other side of this door. It's not just financial freedom, though God promises to supply all your needs, Philippians 4:19. It's not just restored relationships, though He restores what the locusts have eaten, Joel 2:25. It's about becoming the person God created you to be. bold, purposeful, unshakable. Imagine waking up each day with clarity, knowing your steps are ordered by God. Imagine your life as a testimony, inspiring others to chase their miracles. That's the abundant life waiting for you, a life where your fears become your fuel, your struggles become your strength, and your faith becomes your legacy. But here's the urgency. This door won't stay open forever. These 21 minutes are your window, your Daniel moment, where persistence breaks through resistance and claims the miracle. You might be saying, "But I've been hurt before. I've trusted and been disappointed." I see you. Disappointment is a heavy weight, like a stone sealed over your dreams. But let me ask you, what if your disappointment was preparation? What if every no was God's way of protecting you from a lesser yes? In Romans 8:28, the Bible promises, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Your pain, your setbacks, your closed doors, they're all part of God's tapestry, weaving a story of triumph. Your disappointment doesn't disqualify you. It deepens you. It makes your miracle more meaningful, your breakthrough more powerful. God's not asking you to forget your pain. He's asking you to let it fuel your faith. If this message is igniting your spirit, declare it to the world. Type, "I am walking through my door," in the comments below. Your words are a spiritual contract, a signal to heaven that you're claiming your divine purpose. When you comment, pray for the person above you. You're part of a remnant, a holy army of chosen ones standing together, believing for miracles. Your comment builds community, accountability, and faith. Don't stop there. Like this video and subscribe to stay connected to your spiritual awakening. Join thousands of souls refusing to let fear steal their destiny. Your subscription is a step toward a life of abundance, a commitment to your faith journey. Let's address the clock again, because these 21 minutes are sacred. In Daniel 10:13, we see Daniel praying for 21 days, battling spiritual resistance until his answer came. Your 21 minutes are your battleground, where persistence meets divine timing. This isn't just a countdown, it's a divine appointment. Angels are positioned, resources are aligned, and your miracle is ripe. But miracles don't fall into your lap, you have to claim them. Those 3 steps, write, act, pray, are your claim, your yes to God's invitation. They're your way of saying, "I'm not waiting anymore. I'm walking through this door." And when you do, you'll find that the fears you've been running from are the very tools God is using to build your breakthrough. You might be wondering, what if I'm not strong enough? What if I fail? Let me remind you of Gideon, a man hiding in a winepress when God called him a mighty warrior, Judges 6:12. Gideon didn't feel strong, he felt small, insignificant. But God didn't see his weakness, he saw his willingness. Your strength doesn't come from your ability, it comes from your availability. God's not looking for perfection, he's looking for obedience. Those 3 steps are your obedience, your way of saying, "Here I am, Lord." And when you say that, heaven moves, angels are dispatched, doors swing open, divine provision flows. You're not too weak, too late, or too broken. You're exactly who God chose for this moment. As we press deeper, I want you to hold this image, a river of divine provision rushing toward you, carrying wealth creation, healed relationships, and unshakable faith. But you have to step into the current. Your fears aren't holding you back. They're guiding you to the place where God's power shines brightest. Those 3 steps are your lifeline, your bridge from doubt to destiny. And on the other side, there's a life waiting. A life where you're not just surviving, but thrive. A life where your miracle becomes someone else's hope, your breakthrough becomes their courage, and your faith becomes their inspiration. Stay with me, chosen one, because the next revelation will shatter every excuse you've been clinging to and propel you straight into the heart of your miracle. What if the fears you're facing are the very doorway to your divine provision? My chosen ones, the 21-minute countdown is racing toward its end, and the miracle you've been praying for is within reach. This divine moment won't come again. You're standing at the edge of a sacred threshold, where heaven's promises are colliding with your reality. Picture a celestial door glowing with radiant light, your name etched in shimmering gold, pulsating with the promise of a prosperous life. The fears you've been battling, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough, the fear of a destiny too vast, they're not chains holding you back. They're the keys unlocking your spiritual awakening, the sparks igniting your divine purpose. With every second ticking by, you're closer to stepping into a faith journey that will transform not just your life, but the lives of those around you. This isn't just about you. It's about the generations waiting for your courage, the souls longing for your testimony, the world needing your light. Let's anchor ourselves in this truth. Your fears are not your captors. They're your catalysts. In Joshua 1:9, God commanded, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Joshua stood at the edge of the promised land, facing giants and fortified cities, his heart likely pounding with fear. But God didn't ask him to feel fearless. He asked him to act in spite of fear. Your fears are the same. They're not proof you're unqualified. They're proof you're chosen for a purpose so powerful it threatens the enemy's plans. Every time you've doubted yourself, every time you've hesitated, you were brushing against the edge of your breakthrough. And now, with these 21 minutes, God is saying, step forward, your miracle is waiting. Let's revisit the 3 steps I gave you, your battle plan to claim this miracle. First, write down one specific goal you've been delaying. Maybe it's launching a business, mending a broken relationship, or pursuing a passion. For example, this week I'll create a budget to save for my dream project. Writing it down seals your commitment to heaven. Second, take one small action today. If your goal is a business, buy a notebook to sketch your ideas. If it's reconciliation, send a simple message like, "I've been thinking of you." That step invites divine provision. Third, pray intentionally every morning for 7 days, asking God to guide your path and silence fear. These steps, rooted in James 2:17, faith without works is dead, are your bridge from fear to faith, from waiting to walking in your abundant life. They are simple but sacred, designed to align you with God's plan. No more steps are needed, just faithful action on these 3. Now let's talk about what's behind this door. It's not just financial freedom, though God promises to supply all your needs, Philippians 4:19. It's not just healed relationships, though He restores what's broken, Joel 2:25. It's about stepping into the fullness of who God created you to be. A vessel of His glory, a beacon of His hope, a warrior in His kingdom. Imagine waking up each day with unshakable faith, knowing your steps are ordered by God. Imagine your life as a testimony, inspiring others to chase their miracles. That's the prosperous life waiting for you, a life where your fears become your fuel, your struggles become your strength, and your faith becomes a legacy that outlives you. But this door has a timer, and it's ticking down. These 21 minutes are your window, your moment to claim the overflow of blessings God has stored up for you. Let me share one final story to ground this in reality. David, a mechanic from Houston, felt a calling to start a mentorship program for young men in his community. Fear of failure kept him stuck. What if I can't lead them? What if I don't have the resources? One night, watching a message like this, he felt a spark. He wrote down his goal: mentor one young man this month. The next day, he approached a teen at his church, offering to teach him car repair. That small step led to a group of 10 boys meeting weekly, learning skills and faith. David's fear didn't stop him, it guided him to his purpose. His small action didn't just change his life, it changed his community. Your steps will do the same. Your goal, your action, your prayer, they're not just for you. They're for the people God has called you to serve, the lives you'll touch when you dare to step through this door. If this message is setting your spirit ablaze, declare it to the world. Type "I am stepping into my miracle" in the comments below. Your words are a spiritual contract, a signal to heaven that you're ready to claim your divine purpose. When you comment, pray for the person above you. You're part of a remnant, a holy army of chosen ones, standing together, believing for breakthroughs. Your comment builds community, accountability, and faith. Don't stop there. Like this video and subscribe to stay anchored in your spiritual awakening. Join thousands of souls refusing to let fear steal their destiny. Your subscription is a commitment to your faith journey, a step toward a life of abundance and purpose. Now, as we approach the final moments of these 21 minutes, let's confront the last lie the enemy is whispering. You can do this later. There is no later. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. This is your season, your divine appointment, your Daniel moment. Like Daniel's 21 days of prayer, your persistence in these 21 minutes is breaking through spiritual resistance. Angels are moving, resources are aligning, and your miracle is ripe. But miracles don't wait for your convenience. They demand your courage. Those 3 steps, write, act, pray, are your response to heaven's call. They are your yes to God's invitation, your key to unlocking wealth creation, healed relationships, and unshakable faith. You might be thinking, what if I'm not enough? What if I fail? Let me remind you of Esther, a young woman who faced death to save her people. In Esther 4:14, Mordecai told her, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Esther wasn't perfect. She was human, afraid, uncertain. But she acted anyway, and her courage saved a nation. Your courage will do the same. You're not enough on your own. But with God, you're unstoppable. Your fears don't disqualify you. They qualify you. Your weaknesses don't limit you. They invite God's strength. And right now, with these final minutes ticking, God is leaning in, waiting for your yes. Picture this, a river of divine provision rushing toward you, carrying everything you've prayed for: financial freedom, restored relationships, a prosperous life. But you have to step into the current. Your fears are the stepping stones, your faith is the bridge, and those 3 steps are your path. Write your goal, take one action, pray with intention. These aren't just tasks, they're declarations that you're done waiting, done doubting, done letting fear steal your destiny. You're a chosen one, hand-picked before the foundation of the world, destined to break curses, heal hearts, and leave a legacy of overflowing blessings. As we stand at this sacred threshold, I want you to feel the weight of this moment. Heaven is watching. Angels are positioned. The cloud of witnesses is cheering. Your miracle is not a distant dream. It's here, now, waiting for you to claim it. But you must act. You must move. You must say yes before these 21 minutes close the door. Your destiny isn't a suggestion, it's a divine mandate, written in the scrolls of heaven, sealed with the blood of the Lamb. The question isn't whether God will keep his promises. The question is, will you walk through this door while it's still open? Conclusion. Chosen ones, the 21 minutes are nearly up, and the door to your miracle stands wide open. This is your Red Sea moment, your Esther moment, your Peter walking on water moment. The fears you've faced, the doubts you've carried, the pain you've endured. They weren't your destruction, they were your preparation. Now, as heaven holds its breath, it's time to align your heart with God's promises and step into the abundant life He's prepared. Let's seal this moment with a prayer, a declaration that you're crossing the threshold into your divine purpose. Place your hand on your heart and pray with me. Heavenly Father, I stand before you, not in my strength, but in the authority of Jesus Christ. I break every chain of fear, every lie of doubt, every barrier the enemy has placed in my path. I declare that this is my moment, my miracle, my divine appointment. Open the doors of financial freedom, restore the relationships that have been broken, and awaken the gifts you've placed within me. Fill me with boldness like Esther, courage like David, and faith like Peter. I step through this door, claiming the prosperous life you've promised. No more delays, no more hesitation. In Jesus' mighty name, I declare it done. Chosen ones, the door is open, and you're already on the other side. If this prayer has shifted something in your spirit, don't let it fade. Type, "I am stepping into my miracle," in the comments below. Your declaration is a beacon, lighting the way for others standing at their own doors. Pray for the person who commented before you. You're part of a holy remnant, lifting each other up. Share this video with someone who needs to know their miracle is waiting. Your share could be their key, their courage, their breakthrough. And if this message has touched your soul, consider sowing a seed through Super Thanks below. Your generosity spreads divine provision to chosen ones still searching for their moment. Thank you for staying with me through this journey. Your heart, your faith, your courage. They're changing the spiritual atmosphere. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay connected to your faith journey. This isn't just about a video, it's about joining thousands of chosen souls walking in their prosperous lives. Until next time, remember, you are chosen, you are called, and you are never alone. Your miracle is here. Step through the door and let your greatest chapter begin.